Like I said, there's two more things we got to deal with, and that's the Alan Wake, what you call it, yeah, PDFs, and that's these two. So with that, let's get started. We'll start with Night Springs. So, oh god, this is massive. Oh, that's 25 pages long, isn't it? Experts from Departure by Alan Wake. When de- when Detective Frank Breaker retired from the NYPD, he bought himself an apple farm in Bright Falls. Really. He was glad to return to his old hometown. His departure from the force had been a culmination of years of drama and conflict. A lot of bad blood can accumulate in 22 years. But he'd been an apple farmer for a good long while now. It suited his present temperament. Working outdoors with his hands made him feel worthwhile. In his previous life, he had a reputation as something of a wild man. He didn't mind giving it up. Still, idleness didn't come easy for him. He never thought of himself as a retiree. That was the that was one reason why he was eager to volunteer for what might have been called a reservant position. What? Hang on, experts from departure. So is this part of the story too? Frank Breaker. Frank Breaker always had been a man who took his duty very seriously. It was true that now, at 59 years old, he had mellowed down. That's 59. He doesn't look anywhere near it. What the? Alright. Oh, someone's calling. Alright, I'm coming as. Still mellow was not a word anyone would have used to describe him. Be good. Hello, Mr. Breaker. This is Barry Wheeler. What the hell you calling me this time of the night for? Uh, yeah, I know it's late, but listen, the sheriff, Sarah, asked me to tell you something. She says Night Springs, okay? So I guess Night Springs? Shit. Alright, well, you tell Sarah that I'm on it, okay? I'm heading out the door right now. Yes, sir. Okay, I wait. Why are you calling me? Is Sarah alright? She's not hurt or anything. No, she's okay. She's just busy. She's just asked me to. Yeah, okay, fine. But I never heard of you, son. You from the bureau or something? No, no, no. Actually, I'm a literary agent, sir. I'm just helping her out because she's busy right now. Literary agent. Who do you represent? Well, the one you'd most likely be familiar with is Alan Wake. Hey, I heard he was in town. Matter of fact, I was just reading the Sudden Stop when you called. You know what? He's the best thing that happened to crime fiction since James Ellory. No lie. You're kidding. No, I'm glad to hear that, sir. I'll tell Al you said that. That's really nice. But listen, I really need to make some more calls here. You got the message, right? Believe me, I got it. Night Springs. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Thanks, sir. Bye now. Oh, son. Yep. They all knew. Huh. The first thing he grabs is the gun. And then he grabs a shotgun. And then he grabs a light. Night Springs, an Alan Wake story. Story, Sam Lake. Sam Lake. Huh. Remedy. Trademarks. Colin Kirkland. Hey, it's Frank Breaker up in Bright Falls. I'm good, but I think we got a situation here. Could be a false alarm, I but the alert I got, the one we only use when things get real goddamn serious. Yeah, right. That's why that long? Shit. Sure you can't get anybody to? No, yeah, I understand. I guess it'll be over one way or the other. One way or the other by the time you guys get here. Then this just keeps getting better. Frank made it a point to not try to control Sarah's life. He knew his daughter could take care of herself as well as anybody. She was smart and tough. She was tough and smart. It was her choice to be a cop. It was hard work that made her the sheriff of Brightfall. She made him proud. But he couldn't help worrying. He was a father. He used to carry a badge. He's seen his share of bad calls more than most. There had been a lot of bad nights in New York. But it was only after a few years in Bright Falls that he started to understand how little he understood about the world he lived in. In Bright Falls, he'd seen a tree walk. He'd shot and killed a man with the head of a wolf. The body melted away into black goo that boiled away in sunlight. Whoa. And once, years ago, a little after the funeral, something that had the sweet scent of his wife lay beside him in the bedroom, breathing softly into the back of his neck, insatiable fingers tracing a line on his hip. He couldn't tell if he was horrified or relieved. Oh, that's disturbing. Oh, the birds! Always with the birds. False alarm I am. Life in Bright Falls could be like that. Damn right, he worried about her. Bright Falls natives tended to take the weirdness in their stride, but there was those that were ready to step in an emergency, just in case. Frank ended up leading them a few years after he returned from New York. His law enforcement experience came in handy. And anyway, he'd been here to clean up the mess with the Anderson brothers back in 1976. He'd proven himself. They were good men. Frank was proud to have earned their respect. Hey, Frank. Pat, shit. Guess everyone's here, huh? Wow, Pat Maine. So Pat Maine knew the secret. He's part of this group. Yeah, Sarah got the call out. I hear it's been pretty bad in the town tonight. I don't know how we messed this building up. I mean, the signs were there. That whole thing at Elderwood, what happened to Rose? This goddamn place has got more signs than people. Don't beat yourself up over it. Yeah, you know how these things work out. Deputy Thornton, Deputy Morgan, Deputy Grant, means Pat Maine. So what do we know? I gotta tell you, it's not looking too hot, Frank. Lots of bad shit growing out in the woodwork. Yeah, I figured, Morgan, what kind? Not what we usually get. Mostly it seems to be these crazy assholes covered in shadows. I've never seen anything like them. Yeah, Frank, me neither. Shadow guys. Let me deal with this, Martin. We ran into a couple of them. Real ugly customers. Yeah, I never seen shadow guys before. I swear, Thornton, I'm agreeing with you, fellas. Anyway, you can take them down with light. They're pretty damn tough. Creepy bastards, too. They like to babble. Just like Bonehead over here. Come on, man. Hey, enough already. I get it. Anything else? Jans? Yeah, Frank, let me see. Okay, here we go. First of all, things seem to have quiet down in the town now. I've got 2 reports of empty cars just starting themselves up and trying to run people over. What you mean, Mr. Breaker? I didn't take it seriously until a mailbox attacked me on the way here. The thing here took my head off. A mailbox attacked you? I ducked mostly. Well, that's taking express delivery a little too far. That it? A couple of people told me about a tornado. A tornado? Just reporting what I heard, Mr. Burger. Okay. Anybody got any idea where Sarah is? She's the one in the middle of this thing. We were just coming in. She took off in the rescue helicopter. I think she had Wake with her. There was a pretty serious firefight up there before that. Yeah, lots of shooting, but they made it. It looked like they were heading for the power plant. Right? Yeah. It'll be Cynthia's place they're heading for, Frank. Okay. They're going there for a reason, so it's safe to assume whatever's going on, that's the place to be. I'm gonna head over there see if I can help. Pat, you take the radio station, make sure it stays on the air. If we gotta evacuate, you're gonna have to coordinate that, okay? Grant James, um, you make sure everything's okay in the town. Quiet or not, I want some good eyes down there. A couple of visible uniforms ought to keep people calm. Mulligan, Thornton, you boys check out Hartman's place. I'll bet that shifty son of a bitch involved in this somehow. Find out what you can. But to us, Frank. The rest of you should spread out and keep an eye around Bright Falls. Contact. Step in if people need help. Knock some heads if you gotta. But don't get stupid. We all know this is a whole nother level, right? Don't get hurt. Oh boy. I'll be at the power plant. Oh, one more thing. I'm not going to pretend I'm not going there out of concern for my Sarah. If anybody thinks I should be doing something else, you better. Family comes first, Frank. We're good. You go do what you gotta do. The sheriff takes care of every. The sheriff takes care of us every day, Mr. Breaker. Nobody's gonna have a problem with you backing her up. Frank knew Cynthia Reaver reasonably well. They weren't quite friends. She didn't really seem to have any, but they got along, although it wasn't easy. She was paranoid and obsessive and obviously delusional. But he knew she wasn't stupid, and neither was his daughter. If Sarah was going to her, it was for a good reason. Sarah had Wake in custody, but Frank knew she didn't think he was a bad guy. He trusted her judgment. Still, Frank was sure the man was intimately involved in all this. Wake was a writer. There was a precedent. Frank wasn't quite clear on what happened with the poet Zane in 1970, but he remembered the earthquake. Oh, so they do know. Well, at least the bridge works, sort of. Oh, he reached the spinning bridge. I think so. I need. Where are? Whoa, mother! A tree under tension has tremendous energy. Is that so? Oh, there goes the phone. First we fell, then we delimb. Wait for me. What the? So it's gonna be like that. Well, I guess that's where they are. Come on, you USB. Turn already. Yeah, I know. He's yelling it. He yells at it like we do. Now that's. Now what's that supposed to be? Driving me nuts? Oh, they turned the power off. They turned the. Sarah, are you here? Sit there everywhere? Ah, I bragged about her secret tunnel through the dam. It didn't take a genius to figure out where they'd gone. Okay, the least figured the nutty broad could do is let me steal one of her trucks. Seeing the helicopter in flames was a punch at his gut. Oh man, if she made it out, she was okay. If she was still in the helicopter, she was dead. There was nothing he could do about it. He felt a surge of blind, merciless rage he had known in years. There was something almost sublime in the realization that he couldn't possibly cope with death of his daughter. Suddenly, the world was uncomplicated. She would be alright, or he would bring hell. I think you need to focus more on the road. Oh, what the? This is between me and the writer. Oh, it's Sympha. It's her. How are you? It concern you. The hell it doesn't. My daughter. If she protects Wake, she will die. You first. Some people don't eat red meat. Stretching is very important. It's like that, huh? Oh, jeez. Oh, well, okay. Wow. Oh, and there it is. Hurry up, Wake. And then you. Huh? What? What? He's literally like, what? For a moment, he wondered if this was what death was like. The pain convinced him otherwise. He stripped layers of complexity from the world. It stripped layers of complexity from the world until there was just the next step in Sarah, or no Sarah, and what would happen when he knew which. I can't wait. Please, I'm here. Uh, I guess you weren't kidding. The world was full of light. Huh? He was so happy to be in it with her. Yeah. So yeah. So I guess this is where I guess in the end they ended up all there. But the real one we want to look at is this one. Because this one's the real complicated one. Psycho thriller, an Alan Wake story. Expert, expert, experts from Departure. That Cauldron Lake Lodge still stood after the Dark President's assault was a testament to the skill of the craftsmen who built it. The damage was considerable, of course, but by no means irreparable. The great house remained structurally sound. Yeah, it's still standing. And yet, a sense of violation was palpable in the air. Even the building's owner had survived. He, too, proved to be harder than expected, but he was hardly unscathed. Experts from Emil Hartman's notes. Wake's bull-headed stupidity exceeds my wildest expectations. Ah. Admittedly, I made a mistake with him, but I never expected him to be so intractable. I had to use the drugs on him. I suppose I already knew that that point that was going to be a gamble. It is hard for me to articulate the full depth of the frustration I felt over losing such a promising subject. I had spent such a long time searching someone with such affinity for the power that dwelled within the lake. It's ironic, really, that it would be someone like Wake. I admit that I always expected it to be someone whose work was a little more refined, someone like Tom. I would argue that it's only reasonable to expect work of this significance to be sublime and refined rather than merely crassy popular. Hmm? That Dr. Emil, that Dr. Hartman continued to draw breath could be attributed to un, a lifelong prepare. Wait, what is this? What is this word? Preparation for the worst case scenario, and the fact that when the Dark Presence attacked, its focus was not on him. Even so, he almost died. He spent an entire day unconscious in the ruins of his office. No. What did I? Oh God, just let me go. Help! Oh, God. I found that there's a certain type of person that manages both indispensable and completely dispensable at the same time. Psychotherapy. Psychotherapy. Nurse Sinclair, is this some kind of thing I'm paying you for? I believe that description fits Mott better than any other person I've ever met. I deal with a lot of obsessives in my line of work, although most of them are creative individuals by nature. I always found Mott fascinating because of his distinct lack of imagination, a trait somewhat common among a certain breed of sociopath. I did a good. Mott was frequently useful to me. He had a dull intellect, unfettered, unfettered by troublesome notions of morality. He also had a startling capacity for aggression. Well, that's unprecedented. You're not entirely gone, are you? But I see the experience hasn't improved your intelligence. Of course, Ma tended to be extremely high maintenance and volatile. His belief in the innumerable government conspiracies, each more inane and unlikely than the last, made him increasingly unstable. Intelligent musician. There was always the disconcerting possibility that he would turn on me. Yes, well, your efforts on that front was rather pitiful, weren't they? In any case, I think we're past that now. But I had established control over him early on. A product of a troubled childhood, he yearned for a father figure. Well, better than Wake. He had the self-esteem. He had the self-esteem of a gnat. His life was a constant quest for approval and proof of his manhood. Yeah, we know that. You? I doubt he was aware of how much of a cliche it made him. It's what made me his master. You didn't get the manuscript. Wake's writing for himself now. You failed. You failed me. Well, nurse, we better retreat. I doubt that'll hold him for long. Yes, doctor. So, you don't seem shocked by, well, I mean, are you going to explain any of this to me, doctor? Why, certainly. The way into this hall is been blocked, I'm afraid. We'll have to take a little detour. Mott has been taken over by something called the Dark Presence. Usually, when that happens, almost everything that made that person up is flushed out. In Mott's case, though, it appears that a part of him actually survived the process. I suspect that's to his obsession with me. It's actually quite fascinating. Fascinating. That's just what I was thinking when that crazy asshole was about to stab me. You should take one of these lanterns. Mott won't like the light. You know, you're very lucky to be alive, nurse. It's most likely simply because Mott's quite confused. I doubt he's fully aware of his surroundings. He's just about as charming as he ever was. It is interesting now thinking about it that Mott is about the only one that's able to be taken over by the Dark Presence, and yet still have contained still his personality. As like, yeah, his obsession with wanting to be better than everybody else kind of pushes the Dark Presence back enough that it won't take control. It can't take full control of him. In any case, this state won't last. The Dark Presence is much more powerful than Not is. I will wager that the part of him that looks up to me will be lost soon. Once that happens, I expect he will kill us all. We simply have to survive until the sun comes up, of course. I doubt we could make it to the garage across open ground. Uh huh. You know, somehow this crap didn't come up when I applied for the job. I know a lot of the stuff wasn't exactly legal, and I got no problem with getting my hands dirty if need be, but possession? I'm not saying I don't believe in it, I saw him, but this is not what I signed up for. Yes, I can appreciate that, my dear. You have my sincere apologies, obviously. This wasn't what I expected. We can talk about appropriate compensation later. But for now, we're gonna have to work together, agreed? But for now, yeah, I guess you're right. Great, great, excellent. Look, there's some light up ahead. Where? That should help deter Mott to an extent. If only we had a weapon. Do you know if we were alone in here? Did Birch make it? No clue. The last thing I remember Foucault coming to and wandering outside his store, coming at me with a hammer. I'm lucky the crazy old bastard didn't cave in my scar. Tor hit you? I know, I know. I always thought of those two as basically harmless. But they weren't. But they were really. They really went apeshit on us. I had no idea they were that strong. They were like berserkers. Interesting. I really thought they were completely burned out. There's somebody in the dining hall. Conjuring Lake Lodge was intended to be a place where troubled artists could find relief. Some artists were more troubled than others. Rudolph, how are you feeling? I They tried to make me leave with them, but I can't stop painting. So, see, please make it stop. God, what is he doing? Oh, this is the tornado, and that's. I'm begging you. I can't take it anymore. Yes, yes, I see. I'm sorry, I just can't stop the pictures. I spent most of his adult life studying the strange phenomena around Cauldron Lake. He considered himself the foremost expert in this field. Well, Star Sinclair, do you think you can keep Lane a bit of company for a moment? Distract him from this compulsion? He is anything but a humble man, but in this regard at least his higher opinion of himself was justified. Of course, thank you. He had a great deal of experience dealing with these forces, much of it acquired firsthand over the years, often at a considerable human cost. Get rid of. You look a little cold. Why don't you get out of that radio coat and put my cartridge in one? Oh, yes. Of course, Hartman never gambled with his own life if he could avoid it. He knew full well the dangers certain creative endeavors could unleash. What are you? No time. Oh, nurse, it's time we left. He made it a point to convince others to face them instead. Doctor, you can't be serious. Feel free to stick around if you want to be serious. Making difficult decisions have never been a problem for him. I see. They fluoridate the water to turn us into sheep. Oh, credit cards have chips that can hear what we say. That's the. Jeez, what a conspiracy. Government men try to count us. Not Harvard. Wow. Can't believe you did that. You unbelievable asshole. I agree. This is the perfect time to assert your moral superiority. With a bit of luck, we might make it to the garage while I'm not distracted. Dr. Hartman? Move! He, he'll get through any second now. Yes, nurse. I hate this job and I hate you. Shut up, you push woman. Oh, where'd he go? Was that a police siren? Where? Wow, cops that make me happy. There's a first. I mean, that you? Sure looks like him. Hey, that you, Dr. Hartman, sir? I just asked that, Thornton. Deputy Morgan, Deputy Thornton. Your timing is impeccable. I feel we have a bit of a problem. Huh? And this used to be such a nice place. You're not looking too hot there either, Doc. Yeah, it was fast. Say, there was something at the door when we arrived. Took off fast. Yes, actually, I'm going to need your help with that. A somewhat dangerous individual. Are you serious? Let's just get in the car and get out of here. That would be irresponsible, and I would rather deal with this now rather than keep worrying about it indefinitely. Besides, he's already killed one of my patients. That was... You didn't have to. I hope you realize I quit. Yes, wonderful. Now, I believe I can lure the threat out. All I need is a little bit of cooperation from you. Oh, absolutely, sir. Shut up, though. I'm afraid Mott's quite obsessed. I doubt he'll be able to resist a clear shot at me. I'm fairly certain I can buy a few seconds by talking to him. I trust you know what to do if I give you boys one Adam. Well, it seems kind of risky. It's risky as hell. Yeah, they're dangerous. We just had to fight a bunch of them just to get here. And these things aren't exactly great for conversationalists. I mean, they make Thornton here seem sophisticated. Oh, come on, Mulligan. Let me worry about that. You just take position and hold your fire until I give the signal, alright? If you just let me borrow one of these. Stay out of sight and wait for my signal, please. Nobody. Uh-oh. You've done well, Mott. Good job. I'm very proud of you. Do you understand? Nobody else could have done what you've done for me. Yes, Mott, proud. If you just do one more thing I'll be very pleased. Will you do that? Will you do that for me? You to kneel for me. What a sick. God, even during this situation, he still wants power and dominion over people. Even when they're messed up and by the dark presence. Deputies. Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, great. Now that we got a bunch of questions for you. I don't think so. What? Listen, sir, this will only take a little while. Any queries you have for me should be directed to my authority. As an attorney, I believe you know the way out. You smug piece of... Whoa. I'll tell you what I know. Let's go, okay? I need to get away from this place and him. Go. Hey, sun's coming up. Oh, you have no idea. What an ass. It was hard to accept that my current research could go no further, but I suppose all things must come to an end, and I have always prided myself on the ability to bend rather than to break. Hello, it's Emil Hartman. Oh, you've heard? Well, that's expected. No, I'm fine, but I think I have to reconsider. I have reconsidered your offer. I believe my clinic is unlikely to be operative for a while. I have to leave. I could use a place to land. Touch. He could have made all of us great. He almost did. I don't have many regrets in life, but I wish I'd known then what I know now. He could still be with us today. Still better him than me. And so apparently, spoilers. That's him calling the the Bureau of Control, aka the oldest house, such. Um, if I'm right, because I did read about, because what happens is to a Hartman, because we see him in Control, is he um he calls Control for help, and then they realize, no, we're not gonna help you. We're not gonna let you continue this whole thing with the lake. So he finally gives in and realizes if he wants the power of the lake, then he has to gain it himself and dives in and of course fails. And that's when the Adwin of Control begins. That's how he ends up in AWE in that DLC for in Control. Which, by the way, we're gonna play Control completely 100% before Alan Wake 2 because a lot of stuff in Control, there's a lot of things in Control that most likely will be in Alan Wake 2. But yeah, that's about it now. We're done. We've read everything. We've looked at everything that has to do with Alan Wake 1. All the secret footage. I do want to check one last thing before we do go. Where is Public Games? Um, I think it's which one is it? Yeah, library manage. I just want to see where. Yeah, see, the remaster does not have any of this stuff. So if you don't buy the original version, sadly, if you don't buy the original version, let me load it up. Let's see if you don't buy the original version, you won't get any of that stuff. And the thing is, I don't even know if Epic Game Studio gives you all that stuff, like the extra, which all the stuff we just looked at. Apparently, there's even more stuff. There's like an ARG or some kind of like thing. I forget. I think it was called the Dream, the House of the House of Dreams, which is like just tons of stuff. Just tons of information about like Thomas Zane, his poems and stuff, and how the manuscripts and stuff were used as a way to do things and such. I don't want to go through all. I'm not going to go through all that though. If I do, I'm probably going to just go through it myself because that's too much. That's a lot of things to do, compile and run through. But if I go through it all, I'll probably talk about it as I play through the rest of the series, or at least the games that we need to do. But somehow, like I said, um, we're gonna go through. We're gonna go through American Nightmare next. We'll do American Nightmare next. Then we'll do we'll do American Nightmare. We'll do Control, and then we'll do and then Alan Wake 2. We'll be ready for it. But yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna relax. I need to get over 14 to do some things. Go to bed. And like I said, tomorrow we'll do Alan Wake American Nightmare. We'll try to 100% it. I want all the achievements and stuff. So yeah. Good night, everyone.